You've seen Ryan Reynolds build a perfect career. The blockbuster movies, the hilarious ads, the smart business deals. He's the blueprint for the modern, in-control Hollywood star. But here's the shocking truth that changes everything. Inside studio boardrooms, a Ryan Reynolds movie is now considered one of the riskiest bets in Hollywood. Because the very playbook that made him a billionaire and a global brand has made him a terrifying prospect for the traditional studio system. Today, we're breaking down the 5 real reasons executives fear his call. So how does a star this successful become a source of anxiety? It starts with a fundamental shift in what he's selling. In the past, you hired a star for their range. Today, when you hire Ryan Reynolds, you aren't casting a versatile actor. You are acquiring a pre-programmed, finished product. This is the first and most immediate fear: the Ryan Reynolds character trap. Let's diagnose the first and most visible studio fear: the character trap. For decades, a movie star's ultimate value was their transformative range. The audience paid to see who they would become next. A studio invested in that potential. Think of the classic contract players. They were molded and directed into different genres. The star was the raw material. The studio and the script were the architects. Ryan Reynolds represents the exact opposite model. His unparalleled success is built on perfecting a single, ultra-refined product: the Ryan Reynolds character. The fast-talking, meta, self-aware, charmingly exasperated underdog who comments on the absurdity of the plot he's in. This persona is a complete, ready-to-ship creative package. And this is where the trap snaps shut for a studio. When you greenlight a Ryan Reynolds film, you aren't buying a script that he will disappear into. You are licensing a tonal template. You are pre-ordering a specific, unchangeable vibe. The entire project, the director's approach, the supporting cast, the marketing campaign, must be engineered around this persona. It subordinates all other creative elements to the need to facilitate Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds. The studio fear is not that he'll give a bad performance. The fear is that his performance is now utterly predictable and non-negotiable. This creates a massive binary risk. If the audience is in the mood for that specific flavor of meta-comedy, as they were with Deadpool and Free Guy, it's a home run. But if the cultural moment shifts or the context is wrong, the entire film collapses. He cannot pivot within the movie. There is no plan B. Contrast this with an actor like Christian Bale or Gary Oldman, whose chameleonic transformations are the film's central selling point. A studio betting on them is betting on a thrilling, creative unknown. Betting on Reynolds is betting on a known quantity. It makes the director a facilitator, not an auteur, and turns the screenplay into a delivery mechanism for a brand, not a story. This rigidity is the foundation of the fear. It means the studio has surrendered the first and most fundamental lever of creative control the moment they sign his contract. They have agreed that the star is no longer an ingredient in their recipe, he is the recipe. And if the public's taste for that particular dish changes, the studio is left with an unmarketable, expensive artifact built entirely around a single, immutable sensibility. He has traded artistic range for brand precision, and in doing so, has become a risk that studios can only deploy in very specific, high-stakes situations. Which leads directly to the next and perhaps greatest point of friction: the astronomical businessman premium. If the character trap limits a film's creative ceiling, the second fear attacks its financial foundation. For a studio, hiring Ryan Reynolds is no longer a simple matter of payroll. It is a complex acquisition that comes with what insiders call the businessman premium, a multi-layered cost structure that fundamentally breaks the traditional greenlight model. Let's break down this premium, because it's where the boardroom anxiety truly crystallizes. Layer 1, the star salary. This is the baseline, comparable to any A-lister, but it's just the entry ticket. Layer 2, the equity partner clause. This is the heart of the premium. Reynolds doesn't work for a flat fee. He negotiates for a significant share of first dollar gross. This means that before the studio even recoups its $200 million production and marketing budget, a percentage of every single ticket sold goes directly to him. He's not an employee. He's a senior equity partner whose payout is prioritized. This aligns the studio's entire marketing machine with his personal profit, creating an incentive structure unlike any other. Reason 5. The corporate overhead. This is where the businessman part becomes a concrete line item. His production company, Maximum Effort, is not a vanity label. It is a contracted service provider. The studio must pay a multi-million-dollar producing fee to the company. Furthermore, they are often contractually obligated to allocate a substantial portion of the marketing budget to be controlled and executed by Maximum Effort for its signature, viral, meta-promotional campaigns. You aren't just paying the actor, you are funding his entire corporate creative department. This last point is critical. Traditional marketing is a studio-controlled expense. With Reynolds, a chunk of that control and budget is ceded to his team. The studio is paying a premium for the privilege of him marketing his own movie his own way. The result? Before a single frame is shot, the studio's break-even point is catapulted into the stratosphere. A film that might need to gross $400 million worldwide to be profitable for the studio might need to gross $600 million or more to satisfy Reynolds' back-end deal and the added costs of his corporate apparatus. This creates a terrifying financial equation. It forces the studio to make only the safest, most four-quadrant, globally appealing bets to have any hope of clearing that monumental bar. It kills mid-budget original ideas stone dead. They can't possibly support the weight of the businessman premium. It turns every Ryan Reynolds movie into a mandatory mega blockbuster, with no room for error, nuance, or modest success. The fear is not that he'll be expensive. The fear is that his unique, hybrid star CEO structure makes financial failure the most likely outcome for the studio, even if the film is moderately successful. They can win at the box office and still lose on their balance sheet, simply because their most costly partner got paid first. This transforms him from a risky star into a structural risk to the project's very profitability. And it forces executives to ask a brutal question. Are we making a movie, or are we financing a subsidiary of the Ryan Reynolds conglomerate? This dilemma leads directly to the third fear, which is about who exactly is showing up to see these incredibly expensive films. The four-quadrant illusion. Hollywood's holy grail is the four-quadrant star, one whose appeal cuts across age and gender, guaranteeing a massive global audience. For years, Ryan Reynolds has been marketed as exactly that. The charming, handsome, funny everyman who can sell a superhero film, a romantic comedy, or a family adventure. But this, according to studio data and audience tracking, is a powerful illusion. And it's the source of their third major fear. Reynolds' core, rabid fanbase is not universal. It is a specific, potent, but demographically concentrated engine. His humor is millennial and Gen Z native, meta, referential, steeped in internet culture, and built on a foundation of self-deprecating sarcasm. It's the humor of someone who is in on the joke with you. This resonates incredibly powerfully with audiences who grew up online and share that cultural vocabulary. The fear for studios is that outside of this core demographic, his appeal drops off sharply. Older audiences and significant portions of the international market often find the persona grating, one-note, or simply confusing. This creates a marketing and financial mismatch. The studio budgets for a four-quadrant, $800 million global tentpole based on his quote, but the actual deliverable is a superpowered niche product. His presence guarantees a strong opening with his core fans, but it can also cement a ceiling on the film's ultimate reach. Exhibit A, The Atom Project. The Netflix film was a hit by streaming metrics, but its cultural footprint was minimal. Analysis suggested it played overwhelmingly to his established fanbase, but failed to become a true cross-generational family event in the way a Star Wars or Marvel film might. The contrast, the true four-quadrant player. Compare this to the genuine four-quadrant appeal of a Tom Cruise. Cruise's brand is not meta-humor. It's intense commitment, death-defying stunts, and a classic movie star heroism. This visual, visceral language translates seamlessly across age groups and international borders. There is no cultural translation needed for a man hanging off the side of an airplane. For a studio, betting on a true four-quadrant star is betting on a wide net. This fear directly exacerbates the businessman premium problem from Chapter 3. You cannot justify a $50 million upfront effective cost for a star who only reliably delivers two quadrants. The math becomes terrifying. The studio is forced to spend a four-quadrant marketing budget, global TV spots, billboards in every territory, to promote a star whose appeal might only resonate in half of them. It's an inefficient, leaky vessel for a monumental financial investment. Thus, the illusion shatters. Reynolds isn't the new Tom Hanks. He's the ultimate icon for a specific, digitally native generation. This leads to the fourth fear, which is about where his true loyalties and his ultimate power actually lie. Franchise independence, a fatal threat to studio control. We arrive at the deepest, most structural fear: franchise independence. In Hollywood's traditional model, the studio is the sun. Everything orbits around it: the intellectual property, the stars, the distribution. The star's power is derived from their alignment with the studio's gravitational pull. Ryan Reynolds has escaped this orbit. He is not a planet in a studio's solar system. He has built his own self-sustaining solar system, with his personal brand as the sun. This inverts the entire power dynamic and represents an existential threat to the studio's role as the central authority. Consider his assets. He is the face and former owner of Aviation Gin, sold for over $600 million. He is the public owner and creative director of Mint Mobile, sold for $1.35 billion. He is the co-owner and global protagonist of the Wrexham AFC story, a sports documentary franchise worth hundreds of millions. His production company, Maximum Effort, is a dual-purpose content and marketing engine. This isn't a celebrity endorsement portfolio. This is a diversified, multi-billion-dollar holding company where movie star is just one division. This creates two paralyzing fears for a studio. Fear number one, the inversion of need. The old deal was simple. The star needed the studio's platform to become famous and rich. Now, the studio needs Reynolds' platform, his social media reach, his brand's audience, his proven marketing genius, to have any chance of making their $200 million investment work. He doesn't need their movie to be relevant. They need his brand to make their movie relevant. This shifts all negotiation leverage permanently and irreversibly to his side of the table. He is not a supplicant. He is a supplier of audience attention. Fear number two, the loyalty problem. Where does his primary loyalty lie? Is it to the film's artistic success? To the studio's financial health? Or is it to the Ryan Reynolds master brand? Evidence suggests the latter. Every film becomes a vessel for cross-promotion. A Christmas movie like Spirited is also a seasonal marketing event for Aviation Gin. A streaming action film is a content driver that can be referenced in Mint Mobile ads. His performance in press tours is less about selling the film's plot and more about reinforcing his relatable, savvy businessman persona. This franchise independence makes him the most powerful and least controllable star in the business. The studio is no longer hiring a talent. They are entering a joint venture with a separate, powerful, and fully autonomous corporate entity. In this partnership, the studio brings the money and the distribution. Reynolds brings the audience, the marketing, and a set of corporate priorities. This fundamental misalignment is why, no matter the box office result, the relationship is fraught with tension. And it leads directly to the final, most insidious fear of all: the nature of the success he actually delivers. The quiet flop phenomenon. The final studio fear is the most insidious because it disguises itself as success. In the old model, failure was loud, public, and clear. A film would open, the numbers would be terrible, the reviews scathing, and the studio could take a definitive write-down. It was painful, but it was a clean wound. The Ryan Reynolds era has ushered in a new, more terrifying outcome: the quiet flop. This is not a box office bomb. It's a state of expensive, high-profile adequacy. It's a film that achieves massive viewership on a streaming platform, generates no cultural heat, wins no awards, and leaves absolutely no lasting footprint. Films like Six Underground, Red Notice, and The Atom Project are the quintessential quiet flops. Netflix can proudly tout their hundreds of millions of hours viewed, metrics that are perfect for shareholder reports, but these numbers are hollow. Ask anyone to quote a memorable line from Red Notice a month after they watched it. Ask what the emotional core of Six Underground was. You'll get a blank stare. These films are algorithmically successful and culturally barren. The quiet flop provides no actionable data. It was successful. The metrics say so. So the only lesson is, do it again. It traps the studio in a cycle of spending enormous sums, $200 million for Red Notice, on content that is utterly disposable. It turns the studio from a dream factory into a high-cost content mill, producing forgettable product that does nothing to build the enduring IP that is the true currency of 21st century entertainment. This fear connects back to every previous chapter. The character trap ensures the film can't be memorable beyond his persona. The businessman premium makes the financial outlay catastrophic for this level of ephemeral result. The Four-Quadrant illusion means the film never achieves true, passionate fandom. Franchise independence means the star has already moved on to promoting his gin. The new Hollywood equation. The 5 fears converge into a single truth. Ryan Reynolds represents a new, terrifying paradigm for Hollywood. He isn't just a star. He's a self-contained corporate entity. Studios fear his inflexible persona, his prohibitive businessman premium, his demographically niche appeal, his competing brand empire, and the culturally empty, quiet flops he specializes in. Together, this creates a high-cost, low-control partnership where the studio bears all the financial risk for a product that primarily serves the Ryan Reynolds master brand. He is the blueprint for the post-studio superstar, and his success proves the old system is obsolete. If you want to understand why this keeps happening in Hollywood, watch this next. It explains the system behind it.